With the primary election next week, Mayor Andy Schor's campaign has raised way more money than his 5 opponents. But his opponents say they're going to give him a run for his money. The race is on for the top seats in Lansing. As each mayoral candidate prepares for the primary election, Mayor Andy Schor has a significant financial advantage. He's raised $289,000 and spent $139,000. City Council member KATHIE Dunbar, who has raised the second highest amount, brought in about $29,000.
I think it says that he's a prolific fundraiser, and we know that. Even in the state house, he's raised money. But dollars don't make campaigns, and dollars don't necessarily equate to votes.
In 2017, Schor raised just over $230,000 and spent just shy of $100,000 on his campaign. In this election, Schor says he's grateful for all of the support he's gotten from donors. A lot of his donors are businesses like Comcast, who donated $1,000.
How do you think he got all this money? And you think they're giving it to him for free? No, they want something in return for their money.
There are folks who have very strong negative opinions about the current mayor, and so there's no amount of money that will change their minds. And in the same vein, I won my first election with $4,000 and 2 pairs of Birkenstocks. I tell that story all the time, and I beat a candidate who spent 8 times as much.
Dunbar spent just over $16,000 this campaign cycle. What did you spend that $16,000
on? Campaign staff consulting, website, mailings, postage and printing for mailings. Yep, standard stuff.
Dunbar was her own biggest sponsor, loaning herself $15,000.
Yep, I gave myself a loan. Because I wasn't planning in the beginning to run for mayor, and I knew I needed to infuse it before I held a fundraiser. So it'll get paid back, yeah.
For sure.
Many candidates do loan their campaigns money.
Patricia Spitzley also loaned herself money for her campaign. The councilwoman gave herself $10,200. Altogether, Spitzley raised $18,130 and spent over $16,000.
What I've spent my dollars on is absentee ballots, mailers. I've spent my dollars on my campaign manager. I've spent my dollars on yard signs, and I've spent my dollars on walking cards. I'm very focused on spending money on information to get out to Lansing voters.
Farhan Sheikh Omar is in 4th place out of the 6 candidates. The community leader has raised almost $1,600 and has spent almost $1,300. His campaign focuses on addressing issues like racism, violence, and providing community resources. Melissa Huber and Larry Hutchinson Jr. were not required to file campaign financial reports because they spent less than $1,000 on their campaigns.
It wouldn't make sense for me to take the money that I think is part of what is our broken system of government, where we have special interests and personal interests that are involved in decision making in a way that I don't think is good for our community.
For those who think that it takes a lot of money to run for office, here's a lesson for you. It really doesn't, because I believe my message is right there with anyone else's message.
Now the primary election is August 3rd, and we here at Fox 47 will have team coverage, so be sure to stay tuned. For now, we're here in Lansing. I'm Larry Wallace, Fox 47 News.